Okay, welcome to this bonus segment for Nittany Game Week. Todd Sadowski, Jay Paterno, and Tom Bradley. And guys, you know there's commitment to the Penn State-Ohio State game, and then there's Brian Jones' commitment to the Penn State-Ohio State game. We've got a special guest, a Penn State fan who now lives in the Seattle area, who has been to every Penn State-Ohio State game since PSU joined the Big Ten in 1993. This is going to be his 30th game. So Brian, welcome to the show. And obviously you're a Penn State fan. 93, you went to a snowy, cold, late October game at Columbus. At one point, did you say, I'm never missing this game again?
Well, I lived in Columbus, Ohio at the time after my dad got transferred from Pennsylvania, and it was just a no-brainer to start at that time. And just being a huge Penn State fan my whole life, that game solidified it. I was actually able to sneak down on the field after the game because there were so few fans left in the crowd because of the weather. And actually had a nice conversation with Kerry Collins down on the field after that game. It was very memorable and made me want to just keep on going.
Well, you've certainly lived up to it. So you live in Gig Harbor, Washington, so this is not an easy trip for you. Can you give us kind of game plan / rundown as to how you're getting here this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So my wife and I, my lovely wife, who actually has her master's from Ohio State, is currently packing us up, and we jump on a flight to Columbus, Ohio tomorrow morning. We will stay the night with her parents and then drive to State College early Friday morning, hopefully be there early afternoon and get the festivities started.
Well, let me ask you this. I have some of my own personal favorite games in the Penn State-Ohio State series, but I'm curious to hear which moments over the past 20 games stand out for you?
It's a great question, Coach, and I'll tell you what. There's been so many, but when things really started to take a change was kind of in '05 when we did the first student whiteout. Derek Williams scored a couple times, or at least scored one time that game, and I think that really changed the dynamic of the rivalry. And certainly the crowd intensity at Penn State. Another is 2011. I got to tell a quick story, and obviously our first win in Ohio Stadium at since we joined the Big Ten. And I believe, Coach, you were on the sideline that game, leading the charge. But after that game, myself, my wife, and our friend Becky were walking out of the game, and Jay just happened to be on the phone. Our friend Becky yelled back at Jay and said, "Hey, tell your dad that we love him." And Jay grabbed the phone. He said, "I'm on with him right now. Hey, Dad, they love you." It was just such an amazing, amazing memory to be able to interact at that time. And certainly the game was great. And then again in 16, Grant Haley will score. It's been amazing. So it's been a great rivalry, and certainly looking forward to an amazing game this Saturday.
Well, Brian, we have been treated to some really thrilling games here in recent years. 9 out of 10, though, have went to the Buckeyes. So do you enter this trip cautiously optimistic? What are the emotions as you start to head towards Happy Valley?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, in the last 5-6 years, we've covered the spread every year against Ohio State. We've played them as good as anybody. We've been within one score in the fourth quarter every game in the last 5. So I think we have an opportunity, and certainly we put some pressure on C.J. Stroud. I think we can get it done.
I like the way he thinks.
That's right. That's right. So Brian, you had a chance to have a nice conversation with Kerry Collins. You got Tom Bradley and Jay Paterno here. Anything you wanted to ask those two before we say goodbye?
Oh boy, that's just a great way to segue. I'll tell you what. Jay, I'll tell you, we think so highly of your family. Your dad actually was in my grandmother's Rolodex. And my parents went to Penn State. I had numerous aunts, uncles, cousins that all went there. So it's just been a tradition. So we really appreciate everything you guys have done. And Tom, with your playing career and then your coaching at Penn State, it's just been a pleasure to watch and a pleasure to be a little baby small part of all of it. So no specific questions, just wanted to say thank you both.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. And thanks for that story about 2011. I had forgotten about that. And You almost got me a little
Yeah,
emotional there, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I hope
Brian, for
did.
coming
Once
on.
I remind- I
Appreciate
hope you
you.
remembered it because it was very memorable for us.
Yeah, and I hope I'll try and bump into you tailgating on Saturday.
Sounds great. We'll be there.